Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Stephanie and I work at the Japanese Cultural and Community Center of Northern California. Today I will be sharing a special story from Japanese children's favorite stories. And this story is called The Tanuki and the Magic Fan. In Japan, goblins are called tengus and they all have very long noses. Now, once upon a time, 3 little Tengu children were playing in the forest. They had a magic fan with them, and when they fanned their noses with one side of the fan, their noses grew longer and longer. And when they fanned their noses with the other side, their noses would shrink back to their original size. The 3 Tengu children were having a wonderful time fanning their noses, but just then a Tanuki came by and saw what they were doing. There they are, fanning their noses. My, how I'd like to have a fan like that, he said to himself, and then he thought of a good trick. Tanukis are always playing tricks and can change themselves into any shape they want. So the Tanuki changed himself into a little girl. He took 4 bean jam buns with him and went to the Tengu children. "Hello, children," said the Tanuki. "I've brought you some wonderful bean jam buns. Please let me play with you." The Tengu children were delighted because they love to eat bean jam buns. But there were 4 delicious buns to be divided among the 3 of them, and they immediately started arguing over who would get the very last bun. Finally, the Tanuki said, "I know how to decide who gets the last bun. Close your eyes, and the one who can keep his eyes closed and hold his breath the longest will win the last bun." The Tengu children all agreed. The Tanuki counted 1, 2, 3, and they closed their eyes hard. So here he is with the buns, and then the Tanuki children, or the Tengu children. As soon as they did, the Tanuki grabbed the magic fan and went running away with it as fast as he could, leaving the Tengu children in the forest with their eyes closed and still holding their breath. "Ha ha ha," laughed the Tanuki. "I certainly made fools out of those Tengu children," he said, and went walking along his way. Soon the Tanuki came to a temple. There he saw a beautiful girl dressed in very expensive clothes. He felt sure she was the daughter of a wealthy man, and in fact her father was a great lord and the richest man in all of Japan. So the Tanuki crept up quietly behind her on tiptoe. Quick as a flash, he fanned her nose with the magic fan. Instantly, her nose grew a yard long. What a terrible to-do there was. Here was a beautiful little rich girl with a nose a yard long. Her father called all the doctors in the land, but none of them could do anything to make her nose shorter. So here she is. He spent a lot of money on medicines, but nothing did any good. Finally, in desperation, he said, "I'll give my daughter as a wife and half my fortune to anyone who can make her nose grow short again." When the Tanuki heard this, he said, "That's what I've been waiting for." He quickly went to the great lord and announced that he had come to fix her nose. So the great lord took the Tanuki to his daughter's room. The Tanuki took out the magic fan and fanned her nose with the other side of it. In the twinkling of an eye, her nose was short again. The great lord was very happy and started making preparations for the wedding. The Tanuki was very happy too, because not only was he going to get a beautiful wife, he was also going to get a very large fortune. On the day of their wedding, the Tanuki was so happy that he ate and drank too much and became very hot and sleepy. Without thinking, he lay back on some pillows, closed his eyes, and began fanning himself with the magic fan. Instantly, his nose began to grow longer. But as he was half asleep, he didn't know this was happening. So he kept fanning and fanning himself, and his nose kept on growing and growing. It went right through the ceiling and high into the sky until it pierced the clouds. Now, above the clouds, some heavenly workers were building a bridge across the Milky Way. "Look at that," they cried, pointing to the Tanuki's nose. "That pole's just the right size for our bridge. Come on, let's pull it up." And they began pulling up the Tanuki's nose. How this surprised the Tanuki. He started out of his sleep, crying, "Ouch! Help! Help!" And he began to fan his nose with the other side of the fan as fast as he possibly could. But it was much too late. The heavenly workers kept on pulling, crying, "Eve, oh," until they had pulled the Tanuki into the sky, and no one ever saw him again. And there is the little Tanuki, high up in the sky. And that is the end. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for listening.